Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a parent or guardian in Ghana right now, I know exactly what the atmosphere in your house feels like, right? It's the absolute height of the senior high school placement season. And honestly, stress and anxiety levels are literally through the roof. You're constantly weighing options, listening to endless advice, trying to secure the absolute best future for your child. But in the middle of all this chaos, we're seeing a lot of families making critical errors that could honestly derail their child's entire academic journey. So today, we are going logically and carefully through the ultimate SHS selection guide. We're strictly breaking down the data and the top-tier advice from SESA Study Lab to help you avoid the biggest mistakes being made this season.
Because right now, Ghanaian living rooms, WhatsApp groups, and offices, they are just totally dominated by noisy, high-pressure advice. You literally hear it everywhere. Let's choose the biggest school, or everybody says this school is the best, we have to put it first. Or even, listen, your friend is going there, so you should too. It's fast, it's loud, and frankly, it spreads like wildfire. And it's completely natural to want your child to attend a famous, highly rated institution with some great alumni network. But this intense social pressure, it is actually pushing thousands of parents straight into a massive trap.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The biggest SHS selection mistake.
We need to clear the air right now, because the absolute biggest mistake happening across the country this very week isn't, choosing the wrong geographical location or picking a school with older facilities. No. The mistake is something far more fundamental to your child's daily life for the next 3 years. It comes down to having the completely wrong focus, chasing school prestige and family expectations. This is where parents pick a school simply because of its famous name, completely ignoring what the student will actually be doing inside those classrooms. Instead, we need the right focus, which is choosing the correct academic program. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is this. The biggest mistake you can make during SHS selection isn't choosing the wrong school, it's choosing the wrong program. You could send your child to literally the most prestigious school in West Africa, but if they are sitting in a class studying subjects they don't understand, don't enjoy, and have absolutely no natural aptitude for, they are going to struggle immensely.
So how do we fix this? Let's move to Section 2, 6 questions for success.
To stop chasing prestige and actually start focusing on the right academic fit, you need a strategy. You need a playbook. We're going to look at specific questions that every single parent needs to answer before checking any boxes on that selection form. And let's just slow down for a second and really let this one sink in. This is the ultimate paradigm-shifting question. Which program gives my child the best chance to succeed? Everything stems from this, not which school gives us the most bragging rights, but which academic path will allow your child's unique talents to shine. If you start your entire selection process with this question, your perspective completely changes. You actually start looking at the student in front of you rather than just the badge on a uniform.
And matching specific subjects brilliantly illustrates exactly how to answer that question. Let's break it down. First, you look at the subjects your child genuinely enjoys right now. Think of a student, let's say Kwame, who just lights up with pure excitement when studying biology and chemistry. Kwame is going to truly flourish in general science, which leads to a pathway in medicine or engineering. On the flip side, if your child really enjoys accounting and mathematics, trying to force them into science just for the prestige, that's a terrible idea. They're going to be so much happier and way more successful in the business program, paving the way for a career in finance. From TVET to agriculture to general arts, each distinct pathway starts with this critical matching of genuine subject passion to the SHS program, which directly informs their future career.
But, passion isn't the only metric. We have to consider 3 more critical internal questions. First, what has the child consistently performed well in? You cannot choose a program based solely on family expectations. You have to match the student's demonstrated strengths. Second, you really must ask, is this highly competitive choice realistic based on past grades? Choosing a highly subscribed program without the past grades to back it up might severely reduce your placement opportunities. Look, it's great to be ambitious, absolutely, but you absolutely have to be strategic. Finally, will your child actually enjoy studying these specific subjects for 3 straight years? Remember, interest creates motivation, and motivation improves performance. If they don't like the subjects on day 1, year 3 is going to be incredibly difficult.
And for any parents feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders right now, I need you to remember this absolute truth. Success depends way more on the student's discipline, hard work, and mindset than the school's name. Every single year, without fail, outstanding WASE results come from schools all across Ghana, not just the famous ones. Your child's dedication and character matter far, far more than the prestige of the institution. If they're in the right program, they are going to succeed wherever they're placed. So take a deep breath and let that take some of the pressure off.
Now, let's get into the mechanics. Section 3. The secret placement factors. How does the system actually decide where your child goes? Well, most people completely misunderstand how this works. They assume it's just a straight line from their exam score directly to their dream school. Let's start with the BCE aggregate. We all know this definition, right? It's the total score achieved in the Basic Education Certificate examination. Parents literally obsess over this number. But here is the bombshell fact that so many parents do not realize. Your BCE aggregate is surprisingly not the only factor used for SHS placement. Yes, you heard that correctly. A perfect aggregate does absolutely not automatically guarantee placement in your first-choice school if you ignore the other variables at play in the algorithm.
Now, what's really interesting here is that we can actually reveal the hidden gears of this placement machine. Your chosen academic program heavily influences your placement. If you choose science at a highly competitive school, the cutoff is entirely different than for visual arts at that very same school. Also, your preference for boarding versus day status, that is huge. Boarding beds are incredibly limited, while day slots might be way more flexible. And then you have the raw competition for places and the actual available vacancies in that specific school for that specific year. Your child's placement is a complex calculation of all these factors combined, so you have to choose wisely and strategically, balancing your aggregate against these exact realities.
So, how do we pull all of this together? Let's move to Section 4, your guide to SHS Ready. Navigating this newfound complexity, matching programs, analyzing placement factors, preparing for a totally new environment, it is overwhelming. And that is exactly where the SHS Ready Guidebook comes in as your ultimate insider's cheat sheet. The guide walks you through exactly how to choose the right school and program, but it goes way beyond just the selection phase. It covers what to expect before reporting to campus, essential boarding school survival tips for those leaving home for the very first time, and the proven study habits of high-performing SHS students. It even outlines the most common mistakes first-year students make and exactly how your child can avoid them. It is essentially a complete blueprint for thriving in senior high school.
If you want to arm yourself and your child with this critical information, here are the details you need. The guidebook is published by Census Study Lab. SHS Ready is currently in print, and pre-orders are officially open right now. Honestly, securing a copy of this book is one of the most proactive steps you can take to ensure you aren't just guessing your way through the placement and preparation process, but actually following a proven winning strategy.
So, we've covered a lot of ground today, from avoiding the trap of blind prestige to finally understanding the hidden mechanics of placement. But now, we want to hear from you. What program is your child choosing this year? Is it general science, arts, business, home economics, visual arts, agriculture, TVET, or maybe technical? And most importantly, based on what we've learned today, why? Are you basing it on their passions, their past grades, or maybe a specific career goal? Share your thoughts, your strategies, and your choices in the comments below. Let's really help one another navigate this stressful season. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and best of luck with your SHS selections.